Yay, I'm live. Let me get my chat sorted out here. It'll take, I'm sure, a good 5 minutes or so before people start popping in. But I will carry on in the meantime. Oh, that looks so much better. I mean, there's a little bit more light on the side of my face, but I can fix that. Give me 1 second. Oh, the light isn't so much better. Maybe it has something to do with it staying daylight a little bit later. Now it's just perfect weather outside. Hi, Erin. Holy cow, everybody's popping in really fast. Let's see who pops in tonight. Awesome. What are you guys doing today? I was out this afternoon. The plan was to go over to my sister's to celebrate her birthday, so I didn't really make much in the way of plans. I was going to edit and upload a video tonight, but yeah, my sister phoned me in the morning and said, oh, I've got a cold. I just want to do Safeway today and get the groceries. And yeah, so we just picked up a cake and sang her happy birthday, and she took the cake home because I'm on a diet. I've lost 20 pounds now. Yeah, I'm so excited. You could see it in my face, even looking at myself in the live. I could see it already coming out of my face. That's usually the first place that it comes out of. You know, a good dieting tip for people, right? Because I used to be really, really big, and my doctor actually told me that if you chew gum while you're dieting, it tightens this all up, so you don't end up with the gobble, right? Like I lost 160 pounds one time, like in 8 months, like really, really fast. And when you do it that fast, you get a lot of loose skin, right? And especially when you're older, it doesn't go back in nice and tight, right? So there were some spots you can fix, right, with plastic surgery. I know I had a couple of yeah, I had to have the tummy tuck, and yeah, I had a couple of boob jobs, but yeah, I couldn't get my gobble fixed, but he said chew gum and it worked out really well. But yeah, I need dental work, so I'm not gonna chew gum. And I don't have that much weight to lose this time, right? Oh, Nancy's here too. Wow, quick tonight. Yeah, because usually when I don't give notice, it's a good 10 minutes before anybody starts popping in, but already that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's see who pops in tonight. Tell me what you're up to, and then I'll tell you what I'm up to. Up to no good as usual. Yeah. But you wouldn't expect anything less from me, I don't think. I should have wiped my camera lens on the camcorder. I must have had grease or something on my finger because I could see a little bit of haze on that. I will be getting a new webcam. Yeah. I need that wide. Right? So I take my little 720 and then I mount it on my tripod, and then I push the tripod up against the other side of the wall, right? Because then you get a wider view, right? And then you can see the Prairie Dodgers on top, and yeah, my beautiful steel case plaques. I love my plaques. Okay, let's see what everybody's up to. Awesome, Erin, that you showed up tonight. Did you make it in for the last one I did? I did one a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember. I think you popped in for a few minutes. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, my sister wasn't feeling well. She had a cold, so we just had cake, sent my sister home with the cake, and yeah, and then I had to bring everything up to my house because we all do our grocery shopping together, right? So we just did our quick grocery shop as usual. You know what, Nancy? I tried to message you a couple of times. I was very worried about you. How are you doing right now, Nancy? I don't know if you got any of my, because I think I'm not sure if I went through Twitter, or maybe I probably went through Facebook, because that's the connection you gave me, right? So I sent you a quick message after I heard that you had that problem last time, and I was just kind of hoping that you were feeling better. But when you didn't message me back, I was worried, and I was so happy when I saw you pop in. I went, "Oh, there's Nancy." We'll wait to see if she mentions anything. Yeah. You're still having the seizures, eh? Crappy. And I sent you all kinds of good mojo, but my manifesting hasn't been going very well lately. Yeah. I'm I'm trying out a new tactic this week, right? Yeah, I'm getting really focused, and I've got to get a couple of things that I know that are holding me back, right? I can't feel truly good with myself when I'm still getting assistance, right? I want to get off that assistance like right away, like this week, if at all possible, right? Yeah. I don't like being on unemployment insurance. It's not fun. And I think because I think that, and I feel the negativity of having that, being dependent on not myself, then yeah, I think it makes it so things don't work out quite well as I want them to. If anybody gets that, but I don't expect anybody to. Yeah, so I have a Facebook, William. I just basically use it for sharing. I watch a lot of visit videos, not a lot of entertainment videos, but a lot of creator videos and inspiration and mentorship and learning videos. Right, those are the kind of videos that I like. But yeah, I just use the Facebook platform, basically to share those. And then, of course, my photographs on Instagram. Boy, did I get some nice pictures yesterday. I went exploring yesterday, and I tried to get a video together. But, as soon as I hit the road, like the whole day, like I was supposed to be on the road first thing in the morning, and then it just dragged out. And, yeah, it didn't turn into an explore at all. Yeah, it was the guilt thing, right? My sister saying, don't use the money, because she gave me some gas money. Don't use the money to go exploring. Oh, okay, Tracy. Yeah, so I had that on the mind. So I think that was like dragging my butt yesterday. But today I thought I would come live and we can have a little chit chat. And I want to read what Nancy wrote here because I was worried about her. You are though, Nancy, but you know what? It's that upbeat, you just gotta just stay as upbeat as you can. It's that positivity, right? You just pick something, what you're gonna do when you're feeling well, and then just concentrate on that one thing, whether you're gonna take a visit somewheres or visit somebody or do something or go somewheres, right? And then just focus on that one thing until you're, through the crap that you have to deal with. Yeah. And we all do, eh? We all deal with our own stuff. It's all different stuff. I've been so lucky in my entire life. Like I was actually just talking to Sharon. I'm sure Sharon will be here shortly, but, I was talking to Sharon and she was saying that she was having a migraine and stuff, and I try so hard because I can sympathize, right? Because I have had pain, but I've never had a bleeding nose. I've never had a headache. I don't know how to relate to those kind of things. Like lots of times I say, you're giving me a headache, but really, you're just getting on my nerves, right? But yeah, I've never so much as had a headache in my entire life. And yet I did know somebody, he was just a sweetheart too. And he said he had his headaches where his migraines were so bad they would go on for days. And just even as a child, right, he had these terrible migraines that he would put himself in a closet and he would sit in the closet, right, in the pitch black in the closet. And that was the only way that he could calm those headaches, right? And I went, oh my gosh, like to have to live like that, what a terrible, like I couldn't imagine having to, because lots of times I would have jobs, right? So I understand the concept of having to try and, carry on with life when you're in pain, because, it's not really a great comparison, but it's as close as I can get, right? Is, when you buy the wrong pair of shoes and you have to work all day in a pair of shoes and your feet hurt so bad that you can't think of anything else except how bad your feet hurt, right? So that's about as close to a comparison I could come to. So I do understand having so much pain that you can't think of the task at hand, eh? But yeah, to have constant pain, yeah, terrible. And you're such a good person, Nancy. I don't know why these terrible things are happening to you, right? Unless there's a bonus at the end, like you're paying a price now and something wonderful is going to happen or come out of it at the end. I don't know. It's just, for as much as I've known you, and when I bump into you in the other sites, and how kind you've been to me and how much you dig in to help do research for me, and how you watch over my crew here every time I go live, even when you're not feeling well. Like Nancy, if you're not feeling well tonight, you go right ahead and you just watch the live tonight, right? Yeah. I just don't understand somebody as kind as you is gets pooped on like that. But again, tonight I will make sure in my affirmations I'm sending you lots of good mojo. Yes, Nancy. Yeah. I hope these seizures stop, and yeah, you're back on the upslope, right? Because this is your time, Nancy. This is when you're supposed to be able to get outside a little bit and enjoy the nature and the outdoors, right? But if you're going to be sick all summer, and then we're going to be right back into winter, and yeah, how much do we all get out at wintertime? Yeah. Oh, which should I say is, I am thinking of maybe this weekend heading out to the fort for the weekend. I have some stuff. I gave Ray a great big Tupperware bin full of stuff, men's stuff for renovations and doing construction and stuff like that, right? So I gave him a big bin of that for the motor home. And so I'm going to go there and I'm going to just start cleaning it out so that I could actually stay in there, right? While I'm doing the renovations, because I know on the porch is the first thing we need to do is get that porch done. We need a new flooring. We need a new subfloor. We need to secure that wall so that we don't lose those windows, and then replace a couple of windows, big picture windows. Oh, it's going to be so exciting to have it all beautiful in there and to be able to watch the sunset. Is it sunset or sunrise? Yeah, it faces west, so we'll see the sunsets in the evening out there. And that deck is 15 feet by 30 feet, he said. It's absolutely huge. So, oh, bye, Erin. Thanks for popping by. Yeah, that was awesome to see you. Yeah, that was awesome. You were the first one to pop in tonight. Cool. Yeah, so I'm planning to go out there next weekend, because I know that if I can get the inside all cleaned up and livable, so we feel good about putting our dishes in the cupboards and the food in the fridge and stuff like that, then I know I can get my sister Tracy out there, and maybe that's what she needs, is some good fresh air too, right? Yeah, so Erin's got a really good YouTube channel too. So she does urban exploring too. She does a lot of the history like I do, right? Yeah, she's really good at it. Yeah, love Erin. So what is everybody doing tonight? But anyway, back to that thing, Nancy. Don't kill yourself, in the live chat, Brendan or Sharon or, Owen, they'll be in here shortly. It just takes them a minute to get their notifications, right? And if I could do like one of the other streams, like it says that I can schedule this for later on, but every time I schedule it for later on, and then I go back into it. It's all messed up, and then I have to redo it, and then I make people wait, right? So I've just done it this way for like the past few months. Now, these chatter lives that I'm doing right now, they're going to be changing a little bit, right? I'm going to be doing a different live, but I'm going to be doing, here, listen to it, everybody. I'm going to be doing a different live on a different channel. I've got another channel going on, and I'm just telling this to the Chatters Live crew because, it's going to be a lot different content than what's going on this channel here, right? This channel was never meant to have so much of me in it. It was supposed to, love on the province that I live in, right? And, to showcase our beautiful abundance and the history of our province and the different cultures and the different people that live here. It was all supposed to be about the community stuff, right? It wasn't necessarily supposed to be about me at all. And but because I fell in love with YouTube and, fell in love with being a YouTube creator and, and fell in love with the fact that, I had a platform, that I had a voice, and, I wanted to throw my opinion out there. And yeah, and it kind of got a little bit of a mixed jumble there. But I want to separate myself a little bit from this channel and keep it more into the nature, the outdoors, the history. Like, I do want to keep it, the heritage buildings, the different communities, the little adventures I do. So you'll still see me and stuff here and, still see my opinions, but it'll be compacted to those, right? But because my interests have expanded so much, right? And this is my passion, right? Out exploring, and I just absolutely love it and everything, but I need to feel like I'm of value, right? Like, and it's wonderful that everybody gets value of the little explores that I do, but I have to feel that I am bringing value, because that's all easy for me, right? Because I'm off exploring and going for my country drives, and I would be doing that anyway, right? So that is easy for me. What the hard part is the editing. That is what is making me procrastinate. It's slowing me up, and I've got to figure out a solution so that, that I can go off, because I've got tons of footage, but it's that dread of coming back and sitting in front of the computer and editing. I don't like it. So that would be my first mission, is to get me an editor for sure. And you know what? We could also even just play, like, let's make a deal. If there's somebody out there who just wants to be an editor and thinks they can do, who watches my videos and thinks they can do a creative job at putting my little stories together, because that's what they are. That's why I like to put them together, is because I like to put a certain feel into them. But I think I've improved a little bit, that I'm actually able to get those feels into the video, right? So, if I could get a good editor that, I couldn't afford one, right? Or if they were super cheap, like super, super cheap, yeah, I still wouldn't be able to afford them at this point. But in the future, I could, right? And at the same time, I'm a little guru, at least I think I am, at setting up a YouTube channel and running my channel and everything. And I know the right people who to follow. I mean, you probably have your own ideas for the type of people that you kind of follow, because I'm older and I obviously have, different tastes and everything. But, I could set you on the right track, right? So if we could play Let's Make a Deal that way, wouldn't that be awesome, right? Yeah. I show you how to start up your channel and start it up properly. You could probably save a lot of time, right? And at the same time, I would have somebody who would be able to, edit 1 or 2 little videos for me every week, right? And at the same time, you could probably show me, and I have the editing program, so you wouldn't even have to pay for it. I would just let you, manage the editing for me. Sorry, I got a little bit of itch. I had a tick on my foot, I know. And I guess it changed in different spots, right? Because I got the tick. I saw the tick and I went, like this. And I got it off and then I kind of burned it on the floor. And, and it's terrible because I don't even like the burn the ticks, but it's got to be done, right? Otherwise, it's just going to reattach itself to me. But yeah, I guess it had found there was 4 dots on my foot here, right? But now they're really itchy, right? Yeah. So who else is here? I'm just looking here. Oh, yeah, it takes a little bit for people to pop by. I just went with a different brand. They will. It just takes a little bit for them to get their notifications. They'll pop in. And William, I'm happy to yap it myself, right? And lots of people, they'll come in and they'll watch it. I'll just leave this video up, right? So people could just come in and catch it when they have a free moment. Yeah, I don't think there's anything going on here tonight, but you don't know. Maybe there's a holiday or something going on in the States. But then again, it's only been a few minutes too. So how long have we been yapping? Usually takes about 10 or 15 minutes for people to pop in. Yeah, so I started a new channel. So I know, and I could just stand here and I could just sit here and I could just, yap at myself because I spent a lot of time just by myself inside my brain and stuff, or talking to my screen, right? Somebody be video and I'll just talk to the screen itself. Is the volume okay there, William? I can turn it down a little bit. I thought last time it was a little bit higher, but I didn't reset it. But at least I remembered to make sure that I turned it on this time. Yeah, so that was my good cheer that I wanted to tell everybody about, is the fact that, being summer now too, so I'll be out there and doing more of those kind of videos, the explore videos. So I'm going to start with some of the bushcraft because I want to get that fort ready for sure for this winter, and we're going to do another season of that. I'm going to try and talk Ray into. Well, I'm probably going to head out probably Friday and just spend a couple of days out there making videos and stuff for both channels, right? So yeah, I think it'll be fun. Yeah, and it needs a little bit of fun, and I guess I'm gonna have to talk Ray into let me take out that big weed eater he has, because I was out there and all the wild raspberry bushes they're already over 2 feet high and they're all over the ground, right? So I've got to get those things mowed down. And then I'm going to clear it out. And then I'm going to stack the rock a little bit better for the fire pit. And then on top of that, I might even take Ray's old fire pit. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Ray's old. He got a new one of those Barkman fire pits, right? And the ones with the big concrete blocks. And they bought a kit like that, and he set it up in the backyard, right? Yeah, because last time I was there, I did a live. Last time I was there and we had the fire pit going on, and that fire was going pretty good. But it's all the metal, like the metal's actually melting around the edges and stuff, and had a big ring. So they went out and they got themselves one that's going to last a lifetime. I really love those Barkman fire pits, but they bought the smaller one. They bought the 36-inch. Their backyard is so big, they could have done with the 60-inch fire pit. That would have been so neat. You probably could have fit 6 or 7 people around that fire pit. Yeah, with long weenie things. Oh, and I was actually thinking if I'm going out to the fort this weekend, then I want to have wieners, and I don't know if wieners are good in my diet because I know they use flour in the wieners, right? I gave up gluten completely. Like I banned myself from the bakery. Mind you, I went into the bakery today just to look at everything, right? Like I've been thinking of the pumpkin pie. I just love pumpkin pie, right? Yeah, so I gave a thought of the pumpkin pie this week. So I walked over to the bakery just to take a look at the pumpkin pie. And I love the jalapeno cornbread. Oh, It's so amazing. So yeah, so I walked over there and looked at the jalapeno cornbread. I haven't had any treat days or anything. I haven't cheated on my diet at all, right? Yeah, that was nice of Aaron to pop in. And Nancy, I know Nancy's laying there and she's watching too, right? Yeah. Crappy though. Like, I don't understand it. There's people that deserve, not to have the good things, and then the people that do deserve to have good going on. Owen's here. Yeah, there you go, William. Yeah, everybody loves Owen. Yeah, I love Owen. Yeah, your stick is right there. Oh, did I ever come up with a good idea? Boy, did I come up with a good idea. So I thought when I go out this weekend, because I was just saying that this next weekend coming up, that I want to go out to the motorhome and start cleaning it, right? So that we can stay there while we're doing the renovations on it. And so I thought, like, I'd go out and have a little camp day and start cleaning up and start working on that fort, so we'd have the fort for the winter. But at the same time, I need to get that inside of that motorhome done, because I don't even want to stay there until it's in kind of livable condition, because I'm not doing mouse poop, that's for sure. I'm not too worried about all those, because she's got a ton of brand new mattresses, so I know the beds are good and most of them are covered, so I'll just switch one of the clean mattresses over if I see a mattress that's got mouse poop all over it. Yeah, William's been hanging out here with me for the past little bit. Oh, and yeah, it's taking everybody a little bit of time to pop in tonight. I was gonna upload a video from an Explorer, but yeah, I spent most of the time just it's been a while, and I just said I wasn't going to put any pressure on, getting content for the channel. I was just going to make sure that, I enjoyed and yeah. And I guess that's what happened. So today, when I got up today, I said, oh, well, we'll go live tonight. And then I thought, well, no, I can upload a video too. And then I looked at what I had and, and I just said, no, we'll do a live tonight. I got a lot of green content on my channel, right? And yeah, we're going through a little bit of a slow period on my channel here. So we're just going to see if we can just ride it out a little bit. And I've got a lot of studying to do right now. I'm actually, Nancy's here too. Oh, and she's just laying down. She hasn't been well. I don't know if you want to backtrack on the comments there. And yeah, she's been in and out of the hospital again, just crappy. But yeah, she's resting, or she's trying to rest right now. So she's here. Just wanted to let you know. Yeah, and I was saying that I started another YouTube channel. I'm not really bringing people over there right now, only because I just want to get a few videos up there, and because I'm starting this channel, not being this new channel. I'm just starting it, not even being ready, right? So I'm just like totally clue and new in this. So I'm just going to fill it out for a couple of weeks and start uploading content. It's going to be, sharing more of the journey and how I got here and everything. It's going to be more of a learning channel, right? I was saying that I was going to take that part of this channel off of this channel, right? And I was going to put it over there. So I will make sure that when I've got enough videos and I've gotten my clear idea across to everybody, because I know everybody who really follows me on the Chatters live, right, are following my journey and excited for my journey, right? But and are interested and know how I'm learning and stuff, right? But a lot of people who watch my videos on this channel are not that interested in that topic, right? So my Chatters live group will, for sure, I will let you know when I want to get, I think, maybe 4 or 5 videos up there. It'll only take a couple of weeks. I'll be sure to upload a couple of times a week to that channel. and make sure that I start that channel off good. And it'll probably really be messy, you know, when I'm starting, right, and getting the feel of it, right? Because it was just, you know, it was just this morning that the true light bulb went off my head. But I took a hunch a few days ago. I felt something was on the horizon, and yeah, so this morning I woke up, and yeah, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission, it seems. So yeah, so I'll be sure to let everybody know. Like I said, I just want to get some videos up onto that channel, and so everybody has a clear picture, and then and they won't be long ones. Well, the first one I uploaded right now, I uploaded the first video to it. It's 20 minutes long. Really quite ashamed of myself, actually, for that first. And I shouldn't be, because my intent was to do a good job, right? And to be honest and to tell the story and everything. And I found I didn't have the confidence to let it all onto the video. And yeah, I chopped a lot of important stuff off of that video. I know I could use that content later on to properly explain once there's a better understanding of what that channel's all about. But yeah, I chopped it up, and I chopped up some stuff that I think, you know, well, that I thought people wouldn't understand quite yet. But I felt bad that I didn't have the confidence to just leave it the way it was, because it wasn't so strange, but at the same time, it was, you know, it was a genuine and honest version of me, right? And yeah. And I know you guys have seen all that, because yeah, you've seen my meltdowns. I know Owen has seen a lot of my meltdowns on my Chatters Live, right? But yeah, all those meltdowns. Hopefully I don't have any more of those. I haven't had one forever and ever, but yeah, when they do come, they're always they're always a surprise, right? So you don't know, but that's where I'm going to keep all that stuff, because this is my brand, right? This is my brand. My new channel will not work, will not have a chance of being a success unless this is a success, right? Because I'm building my brand. I'm showing everybody that my brand, you know, is a good brand, and that people want to work with it, and people want to watch it, and it represents well, right? So yeah, so I gotta keep me somewhere else. The majority of me, right? And maybe at some point this channel won't even have me on it. Wouldn't that be neat? Because that's actually the way it was supposed to be right from the start, right? It wasn't supposed to be about me, this channel, right? I was just kind of, you know, the company along for the explorers. But there are lots of wonderful prairie dodgers out there that could do just as good, if not a better job than me, right? Yeah. So I would like to see, you know, other creators, you know, get use out of this channel that I've worked hard. Like, I've worked really hard to get it as far as I can. And I've just got to, you know, I got to just nurture it, and I just got to take care of it. And yeah, when I have these crazy ideas, I got to, you know, say, Cindy, okay, stop, think, get it clear before you make a decision. Okay, now take off. But you have to do it real fast, right? Like, you gotta, you know, have the thought and then take action right away, right? So, you know, if you got to think about something, I've got to, you know, run it through my brain real fast. Otherwise, I'm in a mess of it, right? Yeah, we do have great conversations here, don't we, Owen? We have a really good crew. Yeah, so it's important for me. And the thing is, we all get along so well too, right? Like it's just, we all have that natural respect for each other, right? And we all try to get to know each other a little bit, you know. And I take note too in my comments, right? Because lots of times I see you as you get to know each other here, then I see you going into each other's comments and saying hi to each other, and, you know, wishing everybody well and stuff. Yeah, Owen should have actually, you know what? I think I have seen one of Owen's videos. I think Owen sent me a video. Am I not thinking right, Owen? It could have been Robert. I'm not sure. I'm not thinking straight right now. It's been a long day. I still have a bike ride to get in today. Oh, Linda's in now too. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, definitely say hi when you come in. Yeah. Yeah, so I still gotta get a bike ride in tonight. I'm committed to making sure that I get one post into Instagram every single day. I've really been enjoying Instagram lately, and I am worried about that one too, because there's a real big mix of content going in there. And I just want people to get to know me, right? Because it is all about my landscapes, it's my beautiful photographs and things representing my province. But right now, I've got my diet journal and my diet journey going on my Instagram right now. So if you think that might be interesting, you want to come and hang out with me. I've lost 20 pounds already in the past month, almost 20. I have to kind of balance myself on the scale a certain way in order to be on that line. But you know what? Yeah, I'm pretty certain tomorrow I'll be able to just get on that scale and it will say I've lost that 20 pounds. So pretty exciting. I did that in a month, and I hit my goal because I started that diet on the 4th and it's the 2nd, right? So I'm actually 2 days. I'll be 1 day early. I hit my goal. That's if I don't gain anything. I don't think I ate anything terrible. Yesterday, it's terrible. I banned myself from cheese. I keep banning myself from certain foods, but I love cheese. Like cheese balls, marble cheese, garlic cheese. I don't like cottage cheese, but and I don't like Havarti. Yeah. I don't like the smell of it. I'll even eat blue cheese. I really like blue cheese too, especially in a dressing, right? Who likes blue cheese here? Yeah, that blue cheese dressing, yum, so good, right? It doesn't smell so great, but it is quite delicious and quite creamy and rich. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, the lighting is so much better. I just put another light down in front of my fireplace there. So yeah, it's much better lighting, and I can see that the sun's starting to go down now, right? Oh, hey, Robbie. Welcome to our crew. We have the most amazing crew here. Yeah, our chatters lives are awesome. We're still missing a few. Yeah, it's funny because blue cheese, oh, see? I knew it. Like we all have these great things in common, right? Yeah, because some people just can't stand blue cheese. I'm not, there's not a lot of things I won't try. I'll try absolutely everything once. There are a lot of things that I don't care for. And there's a lot of things if you force me to eat, yeah, it just wouldn't happen. I think if I was absolutely starving, yeah, well, maybe if I was starving, because I'm one of those people that would do anything, to survive, right? Yeah. And I always tell people, if the end of the world comes, you always want to come knocking on my door because I'll figure something out. Yeah, I'm just one of those people. Having a cup of coffee here. I figured out I've been riding my bike lately as I'm trying to lose weight, right? So I try to go for a bike ride at least once a day. And I keep going and stopping off to buy a nice cup of coffee for my drive, right? But I put my cup because the caretaker gave me a basket for my mountain bike. So I now got a basket on my mountain bike. So it's really good because I can throw my phone in there and a sweater and a book and my coffee cup, right? And anything else and I've ridden way over to the other side of the city a couple of times now, right? Well, once. But I've gone for long bike rides. But the other day I went up to my sister's. Instead of taking the car, I just jumped on a bike and I went and visited her and cleaned her house and then made us dinner and hung out for a little bit and then rode my bike home. Oh, and it was so funny because I was riding my bike home and I just love, when the weather is just perfect and the breeze. And yeah, it was just amazing ride home. And I heard a little honk, right? So I stopped and there's my my friends Heather and Dave, Heather is one of my best friends going way, way back. And even though I say she's my best friend, I probably see Heather once a year, right? Like my friends are friends of the heart, right? Like friends that I've had for absolutely ever and ever. And Heather was actually in my bridal party when I got married. I don't know. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Cindy. I'm a urban explorer and history buff, and outdoor adventure. I do a little bushcraft, or I think I'm on Grizzly Adams sometimes, and I just like being outdoors and stuff, right? I just like to spend my time outdoors, and I thought, why not make videos and share my videos out there? And it seems, lots of people enjoy my videos, and again, sometimes I come out and I do my lives too every once in a while, right? So today was one of those nights that I was doing my lives. So what did you guys do this weekend? My weekends are just like my weekdays. The only difference about my weekends is one day I pick a day to spend a few hours with my sisters, right? And we try to get together and connect on one day. And I thought we were going to go see the new Terminator movie this weekend, but because I saw the preview and I said, oh, can we go see it, right? Because I used to love the Terminator. I love action, good actions, right? Not big on the sci-fi, but if it has a good story that I can understand, right? Because I don't always, get the sci-fi stuff, but I love the Terminator movies, and I heard it was coming, so I was all excited, wanted to go this weekend, and my sister said, oh, Cindy, it doesn't even start till fall. I went, oh, okay. Well, they're already showing, and they're trending too, right? The previews for Terminator, it's already trending, so it's going to be a super popular one. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is in this one too, because in the preview it showed him, right? And same with the lady who played. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Robbie, for saying that. And I understand, how people can get things out of those videos, right? Because that's what I try to do, is to show you how I'm feeling when I'm exploring, and most often when I explore those buildings and stuff, you're seeing it for the first time, just like I'm seeing it for the first time. It's not like I'm going in and scoping it out and then going into the filming, right? I try to make the experience like the same for all of us, as if, like we're all buddies and we're all just going to check it out at the same time, just kind of like a little stand by me kind of thing. Which reminds me of another thing too, up on my sister's house, where they live in a cove, right? So in the middle, it's all trees and kind of park-like area, but it's just decorative, right? But now the neighborhood kids, they set up these soccer nets in the centerpiece there, and now the whole neighborhood kids, they're all there all day long during the course of the summer, and it's so wonderful because you can see the unpopular kids and the popular kids. You can see that normally if they were in school, they would probably not be hanging out with each other because they're from different cliques, but because they live in the same neighborhood, right? They've been sharing those nets, and I'm so excited to see if any of them will become great friends. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And that's what it is, you just get out there and give somebody a chance, you never know who your next best friend is going to be. Yeah, I probably haven't even met my next best friend yet. Wow. Yeah, some of my best friends have been my friends for longer than I think I still have time on this earth, so I don't think that record could be beat. Well, I don't mean for it to be raw footage. I'm just a bad editor, Owen. And, I don't have a problem, admitting my weaknesses, editing, I try to do a good job, right? I try to learn the transitions, and, I know I can go for the heart a little bit. So I know how to put a story together so that I can pull a feeling from people, right? So, So that's what the only thing that I would be worried about handing over my footage to somebody else is whether or not they could do that. But at the same time, if they could do that, holy moly, because my editing skills are not that great. I can write some writing over and I can change the volume because I don't even have the volume on my camera set properly because I always have to edit the volume too every time. And when you edit the volume, that takes up space too, right? Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Which of the explorations do you like, right? I'd like to know which ones, if it's the abandons that you like, or if it's the history you like, or, if it's just me yapping right from the beginning of the video right to the end of the video. Is it the beautiful landscapes? I just love, for me, it's the history. It has always been the history. When I was a little kid, I was all about being an archaeologist. I wanted to, at first it was dinosaurs, right? Very early too, because I remember in the first grade, being all about dinosaurs and already being determined that I was going to be an archaeologist. And I think the word archaeologist might have been one of the first big words I ever learned. Yeah, I'm sure that was a big word for me at that age. Yeah. But history has stuck with me my entire life. It just went from dinosaurs to Mesopotamia to Middle East was later, archaeology, Egyptology, and then the Middle East, and then early Canada I did. And then when my dad moved us to Winnipeg in 1980, I was 18 years old. I just graduated high school. And they actually were going to leave me in Vancouver all by myself, because I was out of high school, right? I was expected to leave. And yeah, I talked my dad into talking my mom into asking me to come to Winnipeg with them, right? And I left. I left right away. I was done with being at home. I wanted to be off and do my own thing, right? So, but at least we were in the same city as my family because, my family was everything to me, right? I didn't have anything else, as a young teenager. I in a later high school age, because I was younger, I had a lot of elementary schools that I went to. Like I went to 11 different elementary schools, right? So I didn't stay long enough to make lifelong friends in elementary schools, right? But in high school, because I only went to the two high schools and one of them for most of the time, I was able to make some very close friends and friends that I keep in contact still with now. It's through Facebook and stuff because obviously we don't live in the same province or anything, but yeah, it's wonderful to see, my high school mates, how they're doing and what they've done with their lives. I find that part very interesting, but again, I'm not spending a lot of time in Facebook, right? Because I'm all concentrating on my brand here, right? Turning Prairie Dodgers into a brand. Have you been watching my channel, William? 3 years now, right? So this Christmas will be 5 years. Christmas Eve in 2014 was my first video. And I had no microphone. It was a super windy day. All you can hear is the wind guzzing and then the excitement of finding that old homestead. Like I've even got that video marked Cindy's first video. Oh no, because Cindy's first video was actually an audition for Big Brother Canada. I got that one posted too. But my first urban exploration, I've got that one tagged that way too. So you could actually go right down to the very bottom of my videos and you'll see the very first video I did. And it was a wonderful house. It was a beautiful abandoned on a beautiful sunny day in a field of wheat that was just blowing in the wind, and it was sitting up on top of a hill. It was absolutely just gorgeous. But I was so excited. I couldn't stop screeching through the entire video, and I was a bad editor at that time too. So, So yeah, I chopped most of it up. And of course, at that time, it was all 720, right? It wasn't 1080p or anything like that. And so the quality of the footage was very bad, and the sound was terrible. The house was beautiful. What a beautiful abandon it was. I'll never forget that one. Yeah. And then after we explored that video, we went over to the big rock pile, and I metal detected the big rock pile for a little bit. And yeah. Yeah, I remember my first explore. And then the next couple explorers I did by myself. And then if anybody out there remembers Megan, she was a friend from mine from work, and for a couple of months she was exploring with me, right? But we were going out into the bush. It was rough, and I was taking her away from her fiance. You know, she had just gotten engaged and everything, and yeah, she just did it to be kind to me, right? She was just being kind-hearted by keeping me company, right? So, but yeah, that. We had some good explores. We had some good fun, but I guess not that much fun because she just didn't want to carry on, right? Good night, Robbie. Thanks for popping by. That was awesome. Yeah, Sunday night. That's why I do it at 7, because I think it's like the end. I know it's closer to the end of my evening. I'm in bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. But I'm always up usually between 6 and 7. Like, I just wake up naturally, right? So whatever time. It depends how late, because there's been a couple of nights last week that I actually stayed up after midnight. I was trying to change my channel art on my channel, and boy, I spent all day trying to figure it out, and yeah, downloading templates, and I just did such a terrible job. I just need to get better pictures, and yeah, and I'm trying to save money on the editing program, so I'm just taking the editing for my videos. I'm not taking the Photoshop or anything, those programs, right? Because that costs more, and if I'm not going to use it all the time, I don't want to be putting the money that I need into something I'm not using, because yeah, it's hard enough keeping up on that payment just for the Premiere Pro for my video. But I need a good editor. I can't use junk editing, right, for my videos, because I need it. That little bit of editing that I can do, I need to be able to do it well enough, right? So what were you doing today, Owen? Anything exciting? Yeah, I don't think it's a big weekend. It would have been a nice weekend to have a lot of activities and a lot of things going on in the city this weekend. But we don't always get to dictate our weather, right? Because we're right almost, I guess starting in the next week or so, we'll be going into a rainy season, right? June is our rainy season. And yeah, we get lots of really, really good thunderstorms. The thunderstorms are my absolute favorite. I love thunderstorms. Yeah, they're magical. But I thought I was going to just come on live tonight just to touch base and say hi to everybody and fill everybody in on what I've been up to. I've got a lot of work to do and a lot of research to do this week, and I got to do serious job hunting. I need to find a position either in marketing or somewheres where I can use the skills or learn more skills that will help me be better, at what I'm doing, that it has to benefit me. And if it doesn't benefit me that way, then it has to benefit me this way, right? Which means I'll probably going back to maybe bartending. Bartending was really good. I know I can get some socials in. I've been doing socials and stuff for years, right? And right, even in Canada, socials. Okay, socials are something. This is really unique. This is probably something that doesn't happen anywhere in the world. It's something very specific to Manitoba, and I know different people have tried to incorporate it and try and get it to catch on in other provinces, but it never has caught on anywhere else. Here in Manitoba, we have a custom. It's called when you get engaged, you put on a wedding social. And what a wedding social is you sell tickets, you rent a hall, right? And you sell tickets, and you serve cheap beers and shots, right? It's like a wedding reception before the wedding, right? But you don't bring presents or anything like that. What they do is they usually do things like Chinese auctions, and they'll put little prize packages together, and you can buy like strips of tickets and stuff, right? And this is all to raise money for the couple's wedding, right? So they'll do different little contests. They'll sell cheap draft. They hire a DJ. They have to put out a meal, right? So they usually put out cheese and cold cuts and crackers and buns and stuff like that out onto a table in the evening, right? And it's a great big get together, and you sell your tickets, right? So a ticket to a social is $15 or $20, right? And they just take your ticket at the door, and you go in and you party all night in a great big community hall, right? And everybody, when you get married, you're expected to have a social, and it helps out tremendously. I swear my social was bigger than my wedding. Oh, for sure. It was like 3 times as big as my wedding. I had maybe 200 people at my wedding, but my wedding social, I had well over 600 people at my and because I worked in the nightclubs at that time, right? I knew lots of people, and my husband, we were both very social people, right? So we had lots of friends and acquaintances, and when we say close friends and stuff, they were all good friends, right? That we knew through work and stuff like that, right? So yeah, so we had our social up on base because they had a great big junior mess up there that was just absolutely huge. Had pool tables and stuff like that. It was just a great place to, and I actually used to bartend up on base quite often. Actually, I bartended on base for years. It was absolutely amazing. Made lots of money, and it was lots and lots. That's the thing, right? When you're bartending and serving and stuff, it doesn't even feel like work, right? It's just pure fun, right? So I love that. I don't know how I got over onto that topic, but yeah, I used to work the socials too. But oh yeah, I had a great big monster social, and I paid for probably half my wedding with that social. I think we made about, well, we made about $6,000, just selling tickets and selling cheap alcohol and having raffles and stuff, right? Oh, you can't do it now, but when I got married, that was in 2003, I got married, and we had a shooter girl at our social, and she walked around with these test tube trays and held shooters in the test tubes, right? And each tray held 40 shooters. And she did so well, and she felt so guilty about how much money she made at our social, because we said, you buy the booze, you make the shooters, take them out on the floor, whatever you sell them. And we sold them the same amount as what we sold them at the bar. At that time, we were selling shooters for $2 each, right? So each tray was worth $80. She made so much money, she felt the need to give us $600 at the end of the night. Isn't that incredible? So you can imagine probably how much money, she made. We didn't even ask her, for any money, because we just said, would you be the shooter girl at our social? And she said yes, right? So we were just excited to have a shooter girl. You can't have shooter girls now, because now there are very strict rules about how much alcohol somebody can have in front of them, right? I think you're only allowed to have 2 drinks right now. And I shouldn't say you think, because if I'm going back into the industry, I'm going to have to be. And when you get your license, right, your serve it safe, it's good for life, right? It never used to. You used to have to renew it every 5 years, right? But now the licenses are good forever. And I actually think there should be refresher courses on those too, because you lose it, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. Oh, Ketchikat married in tonight. Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, we were just talking. I just wanted to come in and tell everybody that I was working on another channel, and Yeah, as soon as it's up and running properly, I'll invite, everybody who likes to hang out with me and follow the journey. I'll invite everybody to come over there, and that's where I was going to leave most of the private stuff about me, and we'll just leave that over there, and we'll just leave this as my explore channel. We are also talking about me going out to the fort next week and working at the fort and doing a little bit of work on that motorhome, right? And see if I can get some cleaning done in there and maybe run the taps. Somebody told me I might have to run the taps for a couple of hours, right? For them to clear, but I won't know. And I'm afraid of turning on the taps because I don't know when the last time the water has been used in that place, right? What if the pipes explode on me while I'm out there? I guess I can turn the water off again until Ray can go out to fix, but he won't be happy if I start busting pipes. And I know a lot of those pipes are not ABS pipes. They're actually, ABS is the hard plastic that they use for plumbing right now. But I know in the 70s, they used a product called CPV, right? And the CPV was a very, very thin plastic and very brittle when it got old. It got hard and crunchy and broke. Sharon made it in. Awesome. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, I was just telling them about the other channel and how I invite them over once it's all up and running. Sharon's the only one who's actually watching over that channel right at the second, right? Just so I can have somebody who has an opinion. And also Sharon's on the same track as I am, right? She's doing that self-improvement and that nurturing thing too, self-parenting or whatever have you. And yeah, she's been working on herself lots too, right? So I found a little bit of a kindred spirit in Sharon. So I've been sharing what's been going on the other channel a little bit with Sharon. Thanks, Owen. Yeah, if you know any good tips for when I go out there, because I don't know if I should run those taps. Should I wait until Ray gets out there and let Ray deal with that? Or should I go out there and try and run the taps? I mean, I could take water jugs out, right? I could take, but it would be nice if we're working hard, working and sweating and, getting all sticky and grungy, that we're able to take a quick shower. Otherwise, it's a 10-minute drive to the lake, right? And yeah, the water is still really, really cold. Like it's nice and warm out there, but the way we freeze, because when the ice freezes out here, the ice is like at least 6 feet thick, right? So it takes time for the ice to melt, which it just finished recently doing. But now the water is actually going to start warming up now too, right? So the water is really, really cold right now. Slowly, just a little bit more than a dribble maybe. Yeah, and I would just run it until I don't see any discoloration, because in the water up where Ray is, the water is shipped all over the world. They actually have a bottled watering system out there. It's because it's some of the cleanest water in the entire world, right? And actually Ray had his water tested out there, and it was tested as absolutely some of the most perfect water in all of Canada. And he had that idea too, but because somebody else has licensing or something like that, and because of the process that you have to go through, right, it didn't make any sense for him to do it. He could sell the rights, but we also have laws about who has the rights to anything below 6 feet under the ground, I think. Yeah, so there are a lot of sticky rules and stuff. So even though we own the land, I say we, I own it without having to put anything into it. I'll put my sweat equity into it is what I'm going to do. And again, I might not retire in it, because I might not even be living in this province, another 10 years from now. I might be living somewhere else. Right? Who knows? I might go to live on that Mars planet, right? That they want to do. They want to put that city on Mars. Yeah, I might go. No, I wouldn't do that. That's too much of a risk. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in staying on Earth where there's trees and flowers and animals. Yeah, so what is everybody doing out there? I keep asking and nobody's coughing up what they've been doing this weekend. I've been just jotting. I know. I actually filled a whole bunch of my papers and stuff and my notes and stuff, and I threw them in my box. But I just found another stack that I've been jotting notes in, and I don't know whether to go through it because, yeah, some of it is got to do with what I'm working on now, right? So yeah, I think I'll leave it on the desk and go through it tomorrow morning before I start the day. Maybe I'll do it with my morning coffee. I actually bought a different brand of coffee with my grocery shopping today, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But now I have 2 bags of fresh coffee open. Plus, I have a little bit of a bag because I got all excited about opening the last fresh bag that I opened it before I was finished the last one. And now I don't want to go to the old one until because I'm enjoying the fresh ones. I like it when you first open up the bag of coffee and it's just perfectly fresh, right? Oh, they're free. Oh yeah. If you try and like charge for tickets and stuff like that, then yeah, it comes in really handy for weddings. Okay. Yeah, it's been years since I went to church, like years, decades. I go to the churches for weddings. I think that's and I explore churches, right? And I think my church is in here, right? So I don't have the need to go to a building. Is that part of your office project, Sharon, that you're organizing and refiling and stuff? I threw a lot of my old income tax stuff. I had to go through all my taxes and stuff. Like, yeah, my papers are all big jumbled mess, and I had to make sure everything was organized. But I had taxes going back to like 2003, like going way back. Yeah, so I've been using the shredder and then ripping them off by hand and then putting some in one garbage recycle, and then the next week I put the other part in there, so no numbers or anything are all in the same batch for anybody to take scotch tape to. Not like anybody would be interested in what I've got going on, but you have to stay safe, right? So these are little things. Like even on my phone, when I go to use my phone, right, I have to jump through hoops and put codes in and stuff. But I've got a lot of, money stuff and important accounts and stuff that are attached to my phone, right? So I guess, I have to use the extra security. So, but it's a pain in the butt, right? Because if I see something really interesting, then I've got to go into to do what I need to do, right? I'm just complaining. I shouldn't complain. It's easy enough, and I'm happy to have a phone, right? And a good phone too. I'm using the Pixel 3 extra large. I like the large screens. I really like it, right? And the only thing, well, I don't dislike anything about this phone. It's been really really good to me. I just have to remember to turn the back off when I hit the road, right? Because otherwise, when I take videos and take pictures and stuff, it just starts uploading to my photos right away. And I get lots of free storage. I get free storage. Actually, all my Google Photos are all free storage, right? Because of my phone. But whoopsie, I just kicked that. Let me go turn that around for a second. You can see that's part of my kitchen there. At least it's clean. There we go. Yeah, I've lost 20 pounds. I've been trying to get out onto my bike every day. And then I've also been doing like the chicken dance right here. I got this little space set up right here. So I'll just turn on the music and I'll just dance, exercise, on the rainy, miserable days, or the days that I'm just, just totally bagged and done with, right? But I still have to get my exercise in. Yeah, Sharon, you should be following me on the Instagram. Yeah, lots of people are watching my journey. And that actually, I was actually talking about that earlier and then I trailed off, which is so like me, is to get talking about something and then trailing off. But I was saying, yeah, so I it's almost like they're holding me to my diet, right? Because now I've got accountability on my Instagram. Is everybody's holding me, because they don't see me posting the diet stuff, then they'll think that I fell off my diet or anything, right? So I have to be present on my Instagram with the diet. But that's my beautiful landscape channel, right? I use those for my beautiful rural landscapes, my farm fields, my abandons, my trees that I like to do, and my lakes that I like to do. So yeah, after I've lost the weight, you never know. I am making, good friends over there now too, and interesting, right? And a lot of people that usually hang out with the Chatters live here are actually hanging out with me over on the Instagram too, and they're really supportive over there too. But yeah, they're holding me accountable to my diet, right? So I post little clips, like when I go for my bike rides, I'll hold the camera up as I'm trying to steer, and I'll say, yeah, I'm just out here, enjoying my bike ride. And yeah, you can see the steam from the freezing air coming out of my mouth. Or I made little videos of me. Oh, I take pictures of the meals I eat, like my little diet meals and stuff. If I make something for dinner, and I'll take a picture of it and I'll show. And then I always tell a little story or something, right, to go along with it that was going on with the day or going on with the week. Yeah, shredders come in handy dandy, don't they? Yeah, they always have. But nowadays, everything is online. But again, I write all day long, every day, all day long. Like this is just a week's worth of notes, right? And of course, in between, like when I'm watching videos and stuff, like, I've got stupid doodles going on and stuff like that. But some of those doodles are magic, right? Like I think I doodle them when I'm not thinking and stuff. Look at those scribbles, I write stuff down and then I change my mind, and yeah. But I never throw any of this stuff. I never throw any of this stuff away. It just, when I'm done with it, it just goes in my back, in my box, right? And I've got to start dating the books, I think. Like I write like this one here is nurture versus nature and epigenetics, because that's what I'm studying right now. And so I'm going to feel, and this one is going to be part of my purpose, right? This is going to be where I'm able to help people out and stuff like that. So this is something I've really got to start paying attention to. So this is my next course, is to learn that. Is because it's all tied into what I'm doing here, right? Like building my brand, and how I did all this by myself, and how I taught myself, and how I, was strict with myself. I'm not somebody that's usually strict. I've never had to really answer to anybody, as an adult, right? Even when I was married, like me and my husband, we lived two separate lives. I mean, we came together, right? We had our life that was together, but he had his own life that I didn't have an interest in, and I had my own life that he didn't have an interest. He had no interest in camping. Like I would beg him all the time to take me camping and stuff, right? He never once went camping with me. He used to say, oh, I do enough camping with work, right? Because he used to go out into the field, and when he go out to the field, they would live in holes that they would dig in the ground, and that would be his little hole in the ground that he'd sleep in, during training, right? So yeah, he didn't like being outside unless he had to, right? And it was part of his job. So he always said, well, I do camping with work. I'm not going to do camping for fun. I don't find it fun. So I never forced him to come camping, but he was good with me just going off and doing my thing and doing whatever I wanted. Yeah, he was really good that way, encouraging me to have my own life. we weren't great buddy friends. We loved each other dearly, right? But for friends and friends, because our interests were so different. Like, I never really went to his base. I did go to his baseball games on occasion, but he loved to play softball all the time and was in leagues all the time. And he'd just go off and do that on his own, right? And I would go metal detecting, and I would go camping, and I would go hang out with my sisters. He was a very, both of us were very, very social people. But when it was our time, we were very about, yeah, we were very introverted and just kept our own company with each other, right? And did our own things at home and stuff. But very social, like nobody threw a better party than I did. Yeah. I worked in a nightclub, and we had a sister club down the street, right? It was a tougher bar. But my best friend was the bouncer at that bar, and I was the head server at this bar. And so Friday nights, you get all the trailers at the end of the night who weren't done partying, and then I would do the same at my bar, and then we'd all converge at our house, right? We rented a house one time, and yeah, we had the best parties, but just not then. Like I was always good at putting together get-togethers and stuff. Well, I had a terrific idea for a business, and I don't know why nobody's thought about it. It's not my, thing. It's somebody who would, really want to put in a big business, but a business that probably would be very successful, and where he could probably sell spots to other businesses, right, to get space on his site. But I was thinking of an online community center for seniors, right? For people who can't get out and about anymore. Wouldn't that be awesome to have like and you would have different classes, right? In the community center, whatever interests you, whether it was an exercise group or a pottery group or a reading club or, a sports club or photography club, but it would just be for seniors, and it would just be online, and it would be a community center that you would be active. So you could charge like $10 registration a year to be on the site of the community center. But then all these people with these small businesses, whether you were, a dance instructor or if you were a librarian, like you could have your own class and then maybe charge, $100 a month or $50 a month. And then you would have your own spot in the community center where people would be able to pick courses that they want to take in the community center. I thought that was an amazing idea. I don't know if anybody's even thought about it. I'm sure they have. It's such a great idea that I'm sure somebody has thought about it. But it would be a lot of work. You would have to have somebody who was super smart that could put a good website together that would be able to host a lot of businesses, right? Because if you were to have a community center, you would want to have, I would think, at least 50 different classes. Oh, much more than that, I'm sure. You wouldn't want just one sports group, right? Or exercise class, right? Because that's the thing. It's like with me in my classes that I have, like in the topics that I choose, there are lots of people doing these topics, right? But you have to find the people that you relate to, that make you feel good, that teach you the topics that you want to learn, people that you can relate to and stuff, right? So you want to find those people. So the people that I learn from, right, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to learn off the same people. You got to learn off of people that that you like to learn. I mean, they all give the same lessons, but they do it with their own personalities and their own way of doing it themselves, right? I learned that lesson last week, actually, when I was trying to learn from people that I've seen them online and I see how they're presenting everything, and it's not my style. I'm sure they're great people, but not my style, right? And yeah, if I was going to learn those lessons that they taught me, I would probably want to learn them from somebody I relate to a little bit better, right? Y'all, and actually in one of those lessons, they actually say, you are like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you think about the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? Whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's, somebody when you go down to the coffee shop, oh, now we're going to get trailed off again. I had a kind of a sad moment where I actually kind of went in deep and I was just thinking about it, right? Today I went into the coffee shop to pick up a cup of coffee, and while I was standing around, I was looking at the people at the tables, and it was so sad, right? Because people, they got their hands, in their fists, and they're just kind of ho-humming, and it's like this was their outing for the day, right? And I'm thinking, oh, please, Cindy, don't, it's better than not having an outing at all, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's much better than just staying at home. Lots of people can't get out, right? So you just got to do the best you can. But, it didn't seem like they had any gusto, for their life or anything, because they weren't even paying attention to people walking by. They just had their hands in their head in their hands, and they just looked so sad. And I just, oh, please don't ever let me get to that, because I mean, there's going to get to a point, I'm sure, when I'm not going to be able to move. And I just really hope that I have, my mind and a couple of fingers that I can type and get to where I need to be online. Right. But to be off somewheres and not care about your surroundings. Like, even if I was just sitting there having a cup of coffee, I would be so in tune to what's going on with me. Like, I would be looking at people and trying to figure them out and trying to figure out what kind of lives they have. I'd be looking at the products around me, and I just don't get people, how they just can't find interest in the things around them, right? You don't know unless you try, right? But again, I have a very curious mind too, right? So that could have a big thing, but I'm sure everybody is curious to some extent, right? I guess it all depends on your interests too. You got to be curious. You're going to be curious about your interests. So I've been manifesting. I said at the beginning of this video here, I haven't been doing a very good job, so I've got to be a little bit more diligent. I think I've been not being tight enough in what I need to get done, that my manifests are not happening, and they need to start happening right away. And I expect them to happen right away. I have this little makeup case. It's only about this big and this big, and something in my head said, Cindy, when you're done with the manifests, they have to go into the case, right? And you only get as many manifests as you can get into the case. So I've been cutting out these little teeny weeny pieces of paper, and I've been writing down my manifests in these little teeny weeny pieces, because I want to save as much room as I possibly can in this case. I'm sure the case will last for decades and decades and decades, but just in case, because I don't know, right? I don't know how many manifests I'm going to need, or if I'm going to have to write them down at some point, right? At this point, I just expect them to happen. But this was a big one that I was so bummed out last week. It ruined my entire day. I couldn't think of anything else, because this was a big manifest I really, really, really wanted, and I believed I was going to get it, and I didn't get it, and I bummed myself out. But right away I went in to figure out why didn't I get it, and I figured out why. I think I figured out why I didn't get it. So same manifest, sort of, kind of. But this time I'm going to do a different tactic, and we're going to see if we're going to do a little bit better. Because this one has to happen, right? This is a big one. 11, 11, 19. There's 5 ones right after that. 5 of them. And I've been seeing 3 5s constantly all week. I don't know what the 5s mean, but 3 5s together all week. I must have seen it for sure 3 times. It might have been 4 times, but the 5s I've seen, and I only saw the 1s once, but I haven't seen the 1s this week at all, right? And I'm not even looking for them. Like, a couple of times, like the one said I had this thought, look at the screen, and went and looked at the screen, and sure enough, there it was. And then that very same night, I went to bed, and I was so tired. I went to bed. I don't normally go to bed before 10 or 11 o'clock. Well, I don't go to bed before 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night at the very earliest. But yeah, I was really tired, and I was in bed, I think, by 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And yeah, I just woke up and I looked at the clock, and it was 11 minutes after 11 p.m. And so it happened twice on the same day. That was last week. But I asked some big questions, right? And I just said, can I have a sign? So when I saw the 11s, then I thought, I'm getting my signs, right? But now I'm seeing the 5s, and I don't know what the 5s mean. I never checked to see what 5s mean, but I guess I better go check what 5s are, because I've been seeing like 3 5s lots lately, right? But I don't know what they mean. And that's me. I believe in these kind of things, right? Yeah, it's just something you're going to have to get used to with this personality of mine, right? Yeah, so I barely touched this cup of coffee. We went grocery shopping today, and the roasts were cheap. Like, I usually don't eat roast beef. Number one, it's very, very expensive. And number two, I have a hard time with red meat unless it's cooked so long that you can't recognize it and it just falls, like, really shreds apart. But they were on sale. They were only $10 for a nice size roast beef. And I thought I'd cut in half and wrap them up separately. And then I could have 2 meals out of it and have a roast beef dinner, because I do like roast beef dinner. It's just got to be cooked for a long time. And usually I like it with gravy and mashed potatoes, but I'm not having gluten. I think gluten's in the potatoes, but it's a starch anyway, so I'm not having potatoes. I haven't had any starch. The most starch I had some fish sticks that had a coating on them last week. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing the fish anymore, but I think I should eat fish. I bought tuna today, so I think I'm going to have a couple of tuna salads this week. And yeah, so I got that roast beef, but today I also bought some ground beef. So this afternoon I had some hamburgers, right? Just the hamburger patties, right? And I bought a bottle of HP sauce because I love HP sauce. Anybody else like HP sauce? I'm curious if it's just me. I know my grandmother was the one who hooked me on HP sauce. My grandmother and my grandfather both loved HP sauce, right? So I like HP sauce too, but because HP sauce is like $5, right? For a little bottle of HP sauce. And I can go through an HP sauce in a week. Oh, I just love that. Parboil the potatoes, and then you just slice the potatoes, Sharon, and then just put them in the frying pan with some butter and some onions. And yeah, I don't normally do garlic. I don't normally use garlic for too much, actually. I don't know why. I like garlic, but I think it's because I use too much garlic. I'm one of those cooks that never use a cookbook, right? I go, a dash of this and a dash of that, right? For somebody who likes food and stuff, it's easy for me to judge, right? But when it comes to garlic, it doesn't take too much garlic to ruin a whole meal if you dig in. But yeah, there was some really, really good sales on meat at Safeway this week. So, and yeah, when you get those good sales on the meat, you want to fill up. Tracy's got a big freezer and a stand-up freezer too. So if I need more room in my freezer, then I can just store it at my sister's house, right? Yeah, I like fried potatoes. But I should be thinking about them because it's going to be quite a while, right? Because I still want to lose another 30 pounds, I think. I think I could do 30 pounds probably in 2 or 3 months. I think it would take me to do another 30 pounds, but I think it would make a big difference, and I would feel better about getting down to that normal weight this time, I'm pretty sure, because now I'm older, right? So I don't have to feel like I need to have that guard, because this 50 pounds is that I put on. This happened when my marriage fell apart, right? for the first year, well, I wanted to show him, right? So, I was out dating and stuff, so I kept my figure pretty good, but you know, it was a hard breakup, and it took a very long time for us to finally end it, right? It was almost 10 years before me and my husband actually divorced after we split up, right? And we both of us went poor, right? We were buying plane tickets and wasting gas and making promises to each other that we couldn't keep. And it wasn't like we were trying to get back together. Because my husband was much younger than me. When I met my husband, I was 29 and he was 19 when I met my husband. We got engaged within 6 months, but he was still 19. His mother came out to visit us, and I thought, it was a nice way for us to get to meet his mom, because she came from Halifax to come and visit us, right? And I remember us going out, and yeah, it wasn't good. She was not interested in some 30-year-old woman marrying her teenage son, right? Even though he was 19, he was an adult, right? So we waited. He did a tour in Croatia, and we waited another year, and then I did the plans and stuff while he was away on tour, right? I got it all ready because he wanted to make sure all his friends and everything were back from tour, that we were able to get married and have a nice big wedding and everything like that. So what was I saying? Oh, so yes, his mother came out and yeah, for a visit when we got engaged, and yeah, she just was not a fan of me marrying her son. And I don't know. I thought I was very good for her son. And in the end, when we split up, she was my biggest advocate, right? She was all about, us trying to keep it together and everything. But at that point, like I said before, me and my husband, we had very different interests. Even though we loved each other lots, we had very different interests. He was still young. He still wanted to go out there and, party and hang out with his friends, and they were drinkers too, right? I wasn't a drinker, so I wasn't out to go out there and get pounded behind the campfires and do stupid stuff like he wanted to do. But I wanted him to enjoy his life, and that was a big part of his life. And especially in the military, it is part of the life, right? Going off drinking with your buddies. I mean, those are your brothers, right? Those are the ones that are protecting you when you're out in the field or when you're doing a tour. You get tighter with these people than you do with your own family, right? So I wanted to make sure that he was able, without any strings or any jealousy. My husband was a very, very good looking man, right? After I lost that weight, I lost quite a bit of weight. I lucked out with him. I don't know what he saw in me, but I was so happy to have somebody who was so wonderful, and he was a wonderful man. And it's unfortunate it didn't work out, but it was neither of us fault, and we ended it very, very well, right? Like if I saw him, we would give each other big hugs and kisses, and I hope he has a wonderful life and going on right now. And he's got to be older now too. He's got to be hitting close to 50 years old now too. So he's not too far behind me. And if anybody knows me, I'm not a typical 57-year-old. And that's because, again, from all the different lives that I've led, and just having a young heart. Like my friends even were always much younger than me. And actually I have friends right now that are just barely in their 20s, and I consider them friends, right? But yeah, I think I'm ageless. My grandmother was the same way, right? I absolutely thought my grandmother was absolutely amazing. Like, she used to entertain all the kids in the complexes and stuff. She used to wear the most outlandish, amazing. They were almost like costumes, but they would be like her daily clothes and stuff like that. And she just loved people. She was actually a very renowned, this is going to sound funny because people would come from all over the States to up into Vancouver, because we lived in Vancouver at the time, right? And I don't remember, because she had a heart attack when I was very young. I think I was 12 years old when my nanny, we called her nanny, when she passed away, right? But as young, I remember the stories my aunt would tell me and stuff about people who'd come up for her seances, because she was considered a very high psychic and stuff like that, right? And people would come from all over the place to have sessions with my grandmother, right? Yeah. But I don't remember anything about that. I just remember some of the stories that my aunt would tell me about how tables would move and stuff like that. And, how she would sneak and watch. And then when she'd get caught, she'd get in trouble and stuff like that. And how she got to meet, important people and stuff. Because, I supposedly important people and famous people would come and visit my grandmother, right? I don't know how I got carried away on that conversation. That's just another thing I do. I start talking and if I go off somewhere else. Yeah, supposedly, yeah, there was. Yeah, my sister too, Tracy. But she I don't think she realizes it, right? But yeah, I see it in my sister Tracy, but she doesn't do anything with it. She has a she's very in tune, right? Like she reads people. Like I am really good at reading people, but my sister Tracy is so much better at it than me. What I have that my sister doesn't have is I can hold things, right? And I get stuff off of holding things. I know you guys, I don't even know why I said that, because now you're really gonna think I'm a kook. But I can get things off of like pillowcases and stuff like you spend a lot of time with. Like if your mother gave you a necklace when you were young and you wear it all the time, like I can sometimes pick stuff off of this stuff, right? I actually bumped into somebody years ago, and I didn't recognize him, but I used to do these little things in the class when I was bored, and I told him one time that he was going to be a famous architect, and he says, and his eyes bulged out, and he says, "How did you know that?" And I just took a guess, right? I just looked at him, I guess he's going to be an architect, and I told him that, and later on as an adult, I bumped into him, and he thanked me. He says because I put him on the right route, and I was grade 8 or 9 years old when I did that. Yeah, it was just a stage I was going through, right? Oh, I believe in that stuff. There's stuff going on out there like that would just blow people's minds. But if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it, right? You have to be aware. You have to catch the messages that, that's how I see it. I'm always looking around, there's always a meaning in something, right? Somebody's always trying to keep you on track. I think that's how come I've gotten as far as I have, is because I'm paying attention, right? That I'm reading underneath and behind the lines, right? So yeah. But that's the way my brain thinks, right? But I really think that's how come I've gotten as far as I can. Yeah. And, to go for as long as I can on this channel, like, holy moly, I've been at this for a long time, but I think I'm more comfortable in it. I don't struggle. Like I've got all those I downloaded all those Chatters lives that we did for the past 2 years, the ones where I would have those breakdown crying sessions. I call them my Trisha Paytas moments, right? Yeah, I love Trisha. I always like to relate to her because I do relate to Trisha. I know how she feels. I know how she thinks sometimes, right? But yeah, I have those moments and all those breakdowns. I downloaded all those Chatter lives, so I'm going to edit them and I'm going to use them for my new channel as like little lessons. So I'll make videos, what I think about them and stuff as I'm chopping them all up, right? Because I've got a lot of interesting moments going on in some of those chatters, right? Yeah. And that comes from, lots of people say that's a magic thing too. I don't know about that, right? But I know too that when you're traumatized and stuff like that, like even right now is a good example is my sister when she got into that car accident last year, right? it traumatized her really, really bad. So now even when we go grocery shopping and stuff, like you can see her, she's holding up onto that handle above the window and stuff. And when I come to the stop sign, sometimes she'll screech at me or yell at me, Cindy, and then my nerves just like this, right? Because it jolts me, like I think I'm gonna get in a car accident or something. But she's so jumpy from that accident that she got into last year that it's impacted her now, right? So it's kind of like that, in a way that when you get traumatized and things, you become more aware of what's going on with you. And within my case, and maybe with other people's cases, that they're able to read people's expressions and kind of read what's going on, and with the way they move their body and the way they approach you, right? The way they look at you in the eye, right? So the way they sweat. Yeah. Sometimes they even give off musky or something, right? Like you catch off of that too, right? You just read it all and you can put a story together with all of that. But that all comes, I think, with when things affect you and you're actually looking, that's a survival trait, right? Because something's hunting you. I guess that comes from caveman days or something like that, when it was all about survival, right? And then you're just looking around. Yeah, I think a lot of my empathy, being an empath, has come from being traumatized as a child, and that's why I have these abilities. Because if you read people and you're ready, right? So if something does happen, or somebody says something to you or hurts you or something, you're kind of prepared because you've read them a little bit. You know that something's coming. And actually, if you think about it too, if I think about it, my last couple of jobs, when they had to say, sorry, Cindy, we can't keep you, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming during the course of the shift, and I knew they were just waiting for the end of the shift. And by the end of the shift, like I had a very good sense, and there wouldn't be any indication or anything, right? But it's just something, just a hunch, just something just doesn't feel right, right? Yeah, I'm very good at it too. And it was good at the bar because I always knew when somebody was ready for a beer, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a good trait to have if you're, you have to set goals or something like that, right? You know, and if you want to make sure that the relationships that you bring into your life are good relationships that you're going to be with, right? So it comes in very handy for that. But at the same time, that trait, because when you first meet somebody, they're iffy about you, right? They're not going to be excited and happy, and so they could be nervous, and you could be picking up stuff that is negative, but in actuality, it's just the initial greet, right? Yeah. So when I go to meet people, I always make a point of making sure that I say hello or make an eye contact or something right away, because you want to build that rapport almost immediately, right? And that only comes from just being yourself. No matter what with my lives here, like you guys can always see that I'm always being straight up. Like I yap about stuff that maybe I should keep to myself sometimes, but I make mistakes too, and I open up my mouth and put my foot in there often, and the best you can do is say I'm sorry if you get the opportunity. But you're not going to beat yourself up. I'll just forgive myself right off the hop. Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgive myself, and yeah, and that's what, and you do affirmations. I don't know if anybody out there does affirmations in the morning, but that is one of my affirmations in the morning, where, I do forgive myself and I do forgive others who, transgress against me knowingly or unknowingly, right? So you do those affirmations every morning, and then you're starting yourself off with a clean slate, right? Because if you're holding grudges or not good thoughts and stuff, like, yeah, that stuff just all drags you down. I learned that real quick. I came to the realization, and I've been working really, really hard not to, not to be a party pooper, right? Yeah. And it's not my nature, right? So trying not to worry about things that I don't have control over. And I've never been a big worrier over things that I can't control anyway. So just the little things now. And, what was it? My sister called me on it today. And I said, oh, Cindy, you never used to do that before. I called somebody on being rude to me. Oh, somebody honked at me. But when I was in the car, right, he honked at me. And I says, oh, well, now you can just stand there and wait for me forever now. And I stood there for a minute in my car blocking it so he couldn't pass me. Yeah, and then when I finally did go, he did one of those rev the engines and scoot in front of me and stuff. And yeah, to let me know that he wasn't happy with me at all. But yeah, but I normally don't do that stuff, right? But yeah, he was being mean. But I'm not, my dad used to say all the time, two wrongs don't make a right. So, retaliation was just something that wasn't allowed in my family. And that's very important because there's so much crap going on in your life. So many bad things, happen constantly, especially, if you got things going rough, like it's so easy just get deeper and deeper. And yeah, if you can't let some of that stuff go, and that's always the first thing that I let go is things that I don't have any control over. Like I can't control, what other people think about me, right? But I can control what I say that might have somebody say something negative about me or think something negative about me. But I've got to do it in a way that I don't lose myself too. Like I said earlier, I put that new video up on my new channel, and I felt terrible because I went into the editor and I chopped it all up, right? I didn't truly say everything I wanted to say because I didn't think people would understand, right? So yeah, I got to do a little bit better job at explaining. Yeah, we're a small group tonight. Holy cow. We yacked for almost 2 hours tonight. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, and that's awesome, Sharon, Owen. Yeah, that you guys are in there keeping this going because I'm trying to keep up with the comments there, right? With Linda and everybody. Oh, Linda just said something. Oh, so Linda already left. A 10-hour drive. Oh, I wish I was going for a drive. I just love driving. I could just jump in my car and just go. Yeah. Sleep in a hotel every single night, a different hotel every single night. Yeah. That would be good. Yeah. I would just what do you call those? I would have an estate sale in my apartment, right? And I would just put a sign on the apartment block and say estate sale, and I would just sell. There are a few things I would keep, right? There are a few things I would keep. Not a lot, but there are things that are important to me, right? Like my plaque from my dad. I only kept a few things from my dad when my dad passed. He died in 1984, right? He had heart failure, and he died. But his lucky sweater. I've been feeling very attached to my dad lately, and his lucky sweater. He called it his lucky sweater. He wore it every Friday night to his poker games. This is my favorite color, and not because of the sweater. I just took the sweater because it was my dad's lucky sweater, and he loved the sweater. It's even got his old cigarette smoke. I've got a little something here. It's a USB thing. It's got some information on there for somebody. Hopefully they get it if they ever need to get it. And so that's my dad's lucky sweater. And I've been kind of thinking of my dad this week. So I just, when I give my affirmations or when I go to meditate, and I've been slowing down on the meditating too. And in the past week, I've only meditated a couple of times last week, and I've been meditating a couple of times a day, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm not connecting or why I'm feeling the need to meditate. I'm still on the right track. I know I still see that I'm on the right track. I'm hopefully even better now, now that I got that new channel up, I'm hopefully even on a better track. But if I'm not, I'll just do something else. But yeah, this is an old sweater. Look at the tag on that. That looks like it's from the 1950s. My dad had it so long. And this is pretty much, I think I kept three things from my dad. That plaque, this. Oh, and this book that I have that my microphone is sitting on, right? And it's a book on eugenics. It's eugenics is what do you call that? Etiquette, right? It was a book on how to present yourself out in society and manners and etiquette. So that was a book of his, and I was actually reading a little bit about that, and I'm thinking it's actually very important. I think I look at society today and what things are going on in the digital age, and I can see that the children are being raised today or raising themselves, right? And again, that's why I'm moving kind of the topic over onto the other channel. Why I'm finding this so interesting, right? Is I think people need to take more responsibility as they become older. And I think you can start taking responsibility and start learning what you want to learn and going into the topics and to learn to be the person that you want to be and that you could be. Because children are growing up today not properly. They're not getting the instructions that they need, and the education and the guideships that they should have from their parents, because their parents are working full time or they're separated or they're involved in their own lives, or they're just not capable. So I find I'm seeing out there that kids are just not growing up with the skills, like the personal skills to be successful in life. Like I can clearly see it just absolutely everywhere, right? So I'm thinking that's probably, I got to show, and that's why getting this brand, Prairie Dodgers, it's so important for this brand to succeed, right? Because then I can show people how it's possible that no matter how down and out, no matter how you were brought up, no matter how much self-love or self-worth or how much courage you have, that you're able to accomplish your goals in life, right? But again, like I said, I've got to get this brand moving to show that, because I've obviously got to show that it can be done. And the only way I can do that is to get it done, right? So that's what I got to try and do. So this is the tactic this time, is just to separate the me. And I'm doing this live now, and I'm going to leave this up for everybody if they want to go in and watch during the course of the week and stuff, right? So that, everybody knows that when they and you'll still see me, right? Because you'll see the adventures all are about me. But when I do the Prairie Dodgers Explores, those are the main topics, right? Then, I might not even speak in those videos. I might just present the story out. I don't know. I'm just going to feel it out. But I do know that Prairie Dodgers was meant to be a brand for loving on the province and then loving on the community and loving on the people of this province. And I just wanted from the very beginning, like I knew that Prairie Dodgers, was not going to be a channel for me, that I was building it for other organizations, right? That it was something that at some point, that somebody would either, partner with me and help me, get it to be a success and get it to be an important stop for visitors to Manitoba, or even if not as a stop to visit Manitoba, but to make some interest, if you live in other countries and you bump into my channel, go, oh, isn't that an amazing place? One day I want to go visit Manitoba, right? Because I am positive that Manitoba is going to represent the nature and wilderness. There's going to be one of the few spots in the world that you're actually able to to want to experience that. And Manitoba is taking care of that right now for the future, right? Like they've already started in their conservation of this province. Like it's absolutely amazing, and that's why it's lasted so long. And also the reason it's capable, that it's possible for this to happen in this province, is the fact that Manitoba has been a rural province since right up to the 1950s. So it's fairly new. It's like, 50, 60 years that Manitoba has actually become more condensed and more city-like, right? Because Manitoba is, we fed the world. We're the agriculture here in Manitoba. We're the wheat and the barley and the rapeseed. We're harvesters here. So that's why how come so much of the nature and so much of the wilderness did survive. And a lot of the land is not really usable, right? Especially the marshland and stuff, so that's perfectly good for habitat, but it's no good for people to go. I mean, we could change the landscape. It happens all the time, right? Just fill it in with concrete, fill it up with landfill, and you can fill up all those marshes and stuff, but the housing and the businesses and the structure would not be sound, right? Because that water eventually would seep through it, right? And then you end up with road repairs. That we deal enough with road repairs here that we don't need to be dealing with it anymore. But it's really wonderful that we're able to keep, our nature the way it is, and it's going to be a landmark for the future. There's 100% guaranteed. Our heritage buildings are being saved here in Manitoba. They're really concentrating with the forks in tourism. Great travel packages going up to see, up Churchill area to see the polar bears and that way of life. Our extreme temperatures, the extreme heat, and our extreme winters and stuff, like, climate-wise, very, very interesting. Manitoba is a hubbub for the arts. A lot of people don't know that, but we are neck deep in the arts here. We actually have the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, which is one of Canada's premier ballets right here in Winnipeg. And so, yeah, Manitoba has a lot to offer, and it's going to be one of those stops one day. And I would like to be one of those people that would, contribute a little bit to that interest into the province. And I think I can do a good job, just because the rural part and the wilderness and the nature part of this province and the history part, I love to show it all, right? So, and in the end, the people who succeed are the people who have the passion. And yeah, everybody could tell that Cindy's got the passion for this stuff, right? But at the same time, yeah, we're starting that new channel. And again, I'm going to invite everybody over soon as it's got a few videos up there, and I'm on a good pace, right? So I want everybody to step into something good over there. But nobody's watching right yet, but it's okay, because I've got to feel it out. I'm starting this without any right from the beginning of the idea. So it's going to be a mess to start with, but slowly, as I get all the studying in, and as I get to know the topic even better and learn how to present a little bit better, that it'll be better, right? But we are 8:58 now, so we can officially say that we did 2 hours tonight. It was a small group, but I'm sure by the end of tomorrow night, lots of people will have gotten to see it. And that's usually the way it goes. I'm just going to leave everybody out. Leave everybody right now. Thank you so much, Owen, for keeping me company. And thank you, everybody who joined me tonight and, threw in their 10 cents. We'll say 10 cents, not 2 cents. And Sharon, yeah, we're talking a couple of times a week now. So that's really good. And I hope everything's going good with you, and you're hacking away at your life and making a little progress. It sounds like you got a little bit done too, right? So that's good. And I'm glad to hear that your regime is working, and that you're able to move around a little bit. Don't overdo it. And if Sharon or Nancy is still out there, hugs and kisses to Nancy. And yeah, I'm sending good mojo, and I'm going to send an affirmation a well wish. And yeah, let's see if we can do something for Nancy. Yeah, she's an absolute sweetheart. It was nice of her to pop in tonight. But anyway, we're going to call it a night. That is my good cheer for today. Like I said, I'm going camping this weekend, so we're gonna have we'll get a video up for you this week sometime. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, we're gonna call it a day. It was a busy one, and yeah, but I want to touch base, and I wanted to everybody to see that I'm still kicking and I'm still hacking away at this, and yeah, we'll see everybody next time. Bye bye, everybody. Good night.